boss nass it up in here for a minute? You guys mind? You guys mind if I boss nass for a while about it? Just go. Misa think we'sa gonna be good friends. Yousa no thinking the Gungans better worse than you. Misa like this. No. No. Don't do it. Oh. Star Wars on the brain, I know. Misa gonna give you una bongo. You have to go through the planet core. Damn hot day, you staying cool. I mean, it's cooled down pretty fucking nice now, but me and Amelia waited till tonight, till it got cool, to pull all of our junk out of the house, because they're doing a junk pickup on our street tomorrow morning, or tomorrow during the day. And so, we got our stuff pulled to the curb. And it was a lot of, you just build up a lot of shit. We had a lot of like busted chairs like outdoor chairs that we'd kept that had just sat here for so long that they just weren't worth shit anymore. And like boxes of broken garbage and fucking just crap, you know what I mean? And so we got rid of all that shit, which is nice. But it was a pain in the butt, man. It was a lot of fucking lifting shit. It's still fucking sweltering hot out here. It's still probably like 88 degrees, 89, 90. I'd be shocked if it was below 90. Is that a common thing? My country, that's a service you have to pay for. It's not offered by the city. It is common here in this city. I don't know about other cities. But, yeah, the city does a trash pickup thing by neighborhood all year round so that people get rid of junk, put it out on the curb, somebody comes, throws it in a truck. Doing a junk pickup in San Francisco today too, except instead of junk, they're just picking up all of the homeless people's tents. Nice. Yeah, that's real good. Real cute. My local town does that once a month. Damn. That's pretty nice. Yeah, as clean as Cali gets. Yeah, I mean, it's just a nice thing to be able to go through all your garbage. You know, there's just like, you know how it is. You live in one place for a while, just broken shit you've replaced. It all just kind of like builds up in the corners and shit. Just gather it all up, put it on the curb, and get rid of it. We got rid of like this broken TV stand that we've had forever. We haven't used for shit other than just like another surface to put other shit on. So I was like, if I can get that out of here. It's like leaning down what we have so that when we're ready to move, it's all that much more easy to do. Hazardous waste, that's a pain to get rid of. Yeah, no, none of it was hazardous. It was just like broken plastic shit and like old crap that's been sitting in the garage that we don't have any use for, and it's just like put it all out on the curb. Like if my philosophy is, especially with this upcoming move, it's if I haven't fucking thought about it or used it or needed it or wanted it in a year, it's gone. And so we've basically gotten rid of pretty much everything that we haven't touched in a year or more. which is nice. That leaves very little stuff. I mean, we've been trying to find a place for years, and so it's like we're reluctant to get like a nice new couch. I've got like a couch that we bought at Goodwill. It's all fucking ancient crappy couch, but it's like I don't want to buy a nice big comfy couch until I'm where I'm gonna be, you know. I don't want to buy anything right now. I'm gonna tell you guys that. I want to fucking save my money for the next 6 months. Yeah, I used to collect music. I don't anymore. I lost all my vinyls in a divorce, so it's like, fuck that. I guess I'm going digital. Now I own almost precisely no music. Your channel name is clever. Yeah. It is pretty clever. It was more clever when I thought that I was going to use this channel to do spooky, like, stories and stuff. If you look on this channel, there's a playlist called Sticks in Your Mind, of these little short, disturbing stories that I wrote. I wrote them all. Oh, there's 3 of them, I think. I had a lot of fun making them, but I just never really did anything else with the channel until I needed it. It's okay to have a clip of you talking about the diary of Anne Frank on my subreddit. I don't want to get a copyright strike, so I'm asking. Pretty sure it falls under fair use. Yeah, if it's just a clip or something, I really don't care. As long as it's not like an entire patrons exclusive or whatever, I really don't care. Clip it up, do whatever you want. As long as it's clipped, right? We understand. You're not just sharing the fucking private link or downloading the whole thing. We're going to use a clip. That's fine by me, buddy. What movie do you see yourself playing the main character? I don't. I really don't have any, like, aspirations to be a movie star or whatever. And if I was a movie guy, I don't think I would be all that attracted to being a lead. Like, I think there's a lot of more freedom in being a supporting actor. That's always the roles that I enjoyed the most in theater were always strong supporting roles. Kind of curious about the take on Anne Frank. You said that her diary wasn't real or something. I mean, like, honestly, I didn't say that. I said that I've always felt that diary was, like, heavily edited and probably not entirely written by Anne Frank. That's the way I felt since I read it for fucking sophomore year English. I was like, wow, you know, that's a touching story and stuff, but it doesn't seem like something a 14-year-old girl would write while hiding from the Nazis in an attic. And I still feel that way about it. Do I know that for a fact? No. Do I feel that way about it? Yes. So that's why I wanted to ask, because I kept hearing other people saying otherwise. Well, you should probably just listen to me. You know, there's a kind of a strange thing when you listen to other people's reinterpretations of a dude that literally talks 8 to 10 hours a day. It's like, my words are there. I've responded to people about it on our subreddit and stuff. I really don't know what the fucking hang up is. But certain people are just going to latch on to something they think is, like, damning, and they're going to ride it until the ground. They don't care what I have to say about it. They're crafting a narrative that I'm a Holocaust denier or some fucking retarded shit. And it's like, I just ban that shit out of the fucking main sub and let them huddle up and talk their shit. Yeah, we're gonna get Paul canceled. It's like, bro, if I ain't been canceled yet, you ain't gonna be the one that gets it done. Well, when it comes to a guy like me, there's no excuse not to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. Because like I said, all my shit is public. It's out there. I say it unabashedly, unapologetically. I talk about it all the time. Like I said, I'm sometimes live in front of you guys for 10 fucking hours, 12 hours in a day. And there's no excuse to listen to somebody else's reinterpretation of something Paul said. It's all there. It's all there, and it's all easy to find, and it's all fucking ripe for the fucking critiquing. And that's all I ask of people, bro. Like, I understand people are gonna fucking disagree with me. It's just like, disagree with me on the substance of what I said. If you disagree with me that it doesn't seem like somebody else probably heavily edited, truncated, and arranged Anne Frank's diary, and probably wasn't a 14-year-old girl, if that bothers you, it's cool to disagree with me on that point. You don't extrapolate from that I'm some sort of fucking Nazi, because that's just retarded. Like, I am on record about Holocaust denialism, Nazism, and all that shit. There's no way that you could misinterpret my position as being a Nazi. So if you're going to take that interpretation, you can do it in some little fucking shitty back room place. Just don't do it on my fucking shit. I see you in my comments doing it, I'm gonna ban you. I see you on my subreddit doing it, I'm gonna ban you. You come sneaking over to my Twitter and tagging me in it, I'm gonna block you. It's just the way it works, bro. I was talking to Amelia a little bit, not about this, but just about my job and stuff earlier. And, you know, just kind of like, she knows a lot of this, so it wasn't like I was putting her up on game or anything, but it was like, you know, my position at the show is so, like, I'm not trying to, like, say that the other guys aren't this, but I'm saying from my perspective, I'm very much needed on the show because I'm what's called a lightning rod, right? A lightning rod is a person who will say what everybody's thinking, but they'll say it boisterously and unequivocally. They won't equivocate. They won't mince words. They'll just say it and take the heat for it. So it's like, you guys might notice, right? We do a Vauntlet. We do the Vosh Gauntlet. There are tens of thousands of people scrambling to comment about that, and 99% of the comments are about me. Scotty and TJ spent at least as much time as I did on that show saying the exact same shit as me and backing up everything I said. But they caught zero shit for it, and I got 90,000 Reddit threads and 150 fucking salty comments, and that's because that's my job. I'm the lightning rod on the show. I say the things that everybody wants to say, and I take the heat for it. A lightning rod needs to kind of be like a person like me, because I don't care about being respected beyond just general human fucking respect. I do enforce that. But as far as like, Paul's a scholar, Paul's a philosopher, Paul's this, Paul, I really respect Paul. I need that about as much as I need like 1 inch less of dick. Okay? Okay. I don't need your respect. I don't need your love. I don't need your admiration. I need your money and your attention. And I've got both of those in spades, bro. And so it's like, I respect you, Paul. I really don't care for your respect. I don't mean to be mean about it, but I don't do this so that people respect me. I do this because it's my job. I do it for a living. I think people forget that. But, you know, I care enough to not let people just spin false narratives and shit about me in public-facing ways. Like, you know what I mean? You want to create a little alternate sub or create your own little Twitter account that's dedicated to shitting on me. As long as I'm in a fucking position to hit the block button on your ass or the ban button on your ass if you're on a piece of my fucking content, say whatever you want to say, bro. The day that I really don't want people talking about me constantly is the day it's time for me to quit this job. Your positions have made me butthurt a few times, but the Paul hate train is pathetic. I feel like it should be normal to disagree with public figures you enjoy. It should be normal to just disagree with people and still think they're pretty cool. But that's not the way the debate bro culture has sidled up. Like, if you're going to be a politics person on YouTube, you almost have to, like, abide by the debate bro code, whatever the fuck that is. Everything is super serial. Disagreement equals enmity, you know, all that shit. Seems people just want to hate, a reason to be hate or critical. Well, I feed into it a lot, like a lot, but that's part of my job. like I said, the day that people aren't scrambling all over themselves to talk about me and speculate about me is the day that it's time for me to quit this job. But luckily for me, that has always been the case for the last 10 years that I've been doing this. I've been a lightning rod. I have been somebody that people just can't help but discuss constantly, in depth. Every kind of little thing I say is analyzed and interpreted, and I'm fine with all of that as long as it's interpreted in good faith. If it's on my shit, I don't want to see your fucking bullshit. I don't want to, you know, if you're just jerking off at the jaw, go do it somewhere else. But dude, anybody that thinks that, like, I wring my hands because people are talking about me, I wring my hands if people weren't. But don't tell the fucking subreddit folks that. Let's keep it between us, okay? I don't think a lot of them would get it if you explained it to them. Tell us how you really feel. I just did. I just did that. I find it to be really interesting when somebody disagrees with me and does so in good faith. They don't feel the need to, like, misrepresent my position, make shit up about me. You know what I mean? Just like they will direct quote me and then say Paul's wrong because of this. That's one of the most interesting things in the world to me. I love that. But if it's filled with a bunch of hyperbole, Paul's a fucking Nazi, Paul this, Paul that, and a bunch of shit I didn't say, and you've got to like re-quote me. You've got to like take something kind of like what I said and make it look as bad as possible. Like that type of shit. That's just a waste of my time. I'm too fucking old, bro. One thing I've learned is recently is you keep busy, good things will come. You ain't kidding. Busy's my fucking middle name, dude. If I'm not streaming, I'm doing something on the side. I'm trying to fucking get my house shit together. I've got a billion fucking things on my plate. I got plans within plans within plans. And all of it's cooking. Bro, who the fuck is calling you a Nazi? That's wild. Just like a gaggle of like people that their hearts go pitter patter when I notice them. My biggest fans, my most dedicated and unscrupulous fans. They're goobers. It's kind of cringy. I mean, it is a little cringe, but for me, it's fucking dope. It's dope. I think there's like 5 Paul subreddits now. Most of them are just like ghost towns. But it's just like I went from one Paul subreddit to now I've got 5. That lets me know I'm doing something damn right. Damn, you need some sleep, my guy. Somebody get Quill Muffins up out of here. He's trying to pretend he's a doctor on the internet. What do you know about how much sleep I got? Fart knockers. Yeah, it's fart knockers. With a K. Brainwash sheep, nah. Some of them are just doing it for the gigs, you know what I mean? It's pretty obvious which ones those are. And some of them really do carry a little hate boner. Like, they really need to affect something in the world, and they think they can get, like, oh man, I pissed off a Z-list internet celebrity. That's like they're accomplished, you know? There's some sadness involved. There's some genuine good-natured trolling involved. It's a milieu over there, bro. But I will tell you this, that place does not react well to counter-trolling. Jesus Christ. When you shit on them over there, they get real indignant and sad about it. Dude, I spent a couple of days just like responding to every piece of shit in there and making them look stupid while doing it. And they just got, oh my God, you guys should have saw it, bro. The whole subreddit, and literally the dude that owns it's going like, hey guys, can you please not turn this into a Paul hate fest? I don't want to ban people because that's kind of the whole point of this place. But and then like that would get buried immediately by 5 like, can you believe Paul? Have you seen Paul? Did you hear what Paul? Look at this Paul. You know what I mean? It was just like Paul. All I had to do was touch it. All I had to do was just show my face in there, and it was like, then I stopped doing it. Pop back over there today. There's been like 2 threads today. It's goofy as fuck, bro. This place is hilarious though. But that is the place where the profiteer or the profferers of this Paul is a Nazi theory are all congregating. Because I won't let them spin their fucking crazy bullshit on the main sub. So they've got to have some place with a retard that won't ban anybody. You know what I mean? A retard that like is willing to just get dick whipped in the face by the community, you know, every second of every day. Hey guys, I know this is the 14th time in a month that I've asked you guys to chill out on the Paul posting, but can you really do that? Paul posting immediately, downvoting the shit out of the fucking mod. And it's just like, homeboy actually comes to me for advice. He was in here earlier. Hey Paul, is it okay if I have a clip? Dude, he DM'd me on fucking Reddit, and I was like, don't ever come to me for advice, fucking retard. Why would I tell you that? He was like, should I do this? Why would I fucking tell you that, bitch? Good luck. Don't ever ask me for fucking advice. I think I'm going to enforce that now. If he comes in here asking me for advice on how to get his face mushroom stamped by his entire community, I think I'm going to ban him again. So you're on notice, Ghidorah. Your subreddit is persona non grata here as well. Just like dropping links to it on the main is persona non grata, talking about it on the main persona non grata. It's now persona non grata here. So don't ask me dumb questions. Don't let it be a topic on your lips. So fucking stupid. He made a sub to talk shit, but he thought that it was going to be, like, he had this theory. This is the funny thing about that sub. He had this theory that I was just wildly buying it, but, like, banning anybody that disagreed with me. And he thought, like, man, there must be a lot of really interesting people that Paul has banned. And I bet if I make a subreddit and do a guerrilla ad campaign and advertise it over there, I'll get a bunch of them. Well, he did get a bunch of them, but what he scooped up was the walking band. People so autistic, so retarded, and so addicted to alting that they bought up votes on every fucking post over there. It's just worthless. It's just literally low energy, low tier. Sometimes it'll be like 3 or 4 threads in a row about the same shit, and it's all Paul. It's like, and the dude literally, he'll just pop in, he'll be like, hey guys, you guys think you could mellow it out? And he's like, they just ignore him now because they know he's not going to do shit about it. It's just cute. Only drama talk tonight, Paul? If you don't like it, you can fucking posit another topic, or you can get the fuck out. Those are your two choices. You don't get to control the narrative here beyond trying to be interesting with a question. Oh no, my community of undesirables is undesirable. I know. My community of people so autistic they couldn't exist on the main DFF subreddit is somehow out of control and retarded and acting like fucking 5-year-olds. What do I do, Paul? Should I ban this? Should I unban that? And I was like, retard, don't ask me fucking questions. Don't ever ask me for fucking advice ever again. I think he has like a humiliation kink. I think he's like, hey guys, could you not? Oh, don't hit me with your meat. Oh God, oh, that one stung. Dude even made another subreddit and went like, hey guys, I made a subreddit for actual Paul spam. Can we use that? And now they just cross-post to it. You can't make this shit up. They'll post their low effort screed over there and then they just cross-post it to his sub again. You're just imagining this guy? Dude, the picture I have in his head can't be, of my head, the picture I have in my head of him cannot be real. It can't be real. I do that. Like if I'm dealing with somebody back and forth a few times, I have to picture a person, and the person that I've concocted for him, it can't be real. There's not actually not a person like that. I picture a dude with a sparse pube stash, a silk anime all over print anime girl shirt with a pocket protector. That doesn't exist. With pins in it and a calculator. That doesn't exist. Right? Like that level of fucking, but that's what he is in my mind. Yeah. In my mind, that's what he is, bro. That's what I landed on after talking to this guy back and forth. Because he DM'd me a few times. And I was like, huh, man, how am I going to peg this oh, wait. And then I just closed my eyes and a picture came into my head of like not fat, but not thin, kind of like medium build, premature balding, all over print, silk, anime, ahegao shirt with all the little girls like all going like crossing their eyes or whatever the fuck, right? Pocket protector in the pocket of it though. Pins and a calculator. And maybe like a measuring tool of some kind. I don't even know why. Yeah, like Scotty size, you know? Like not like super lean fit, but not fat. You know what I mean? Kind of just like medium. Oh yeah, mouth breather for sure. Probably really bad allergies, so one nostril's always plugged, so he's just learned to like... And if you're in that zone, dude, the breath is hot. Hot, dude. Hot. It's been a hot minute since there were proper like oral hygiene steps. Yeah, that's right. You are the danger, sir. Yeah, we got it, dude. We've all seen the episode, Walter. We've seen the episode, okay? We know that you're the one that knocks. We know that your name is Heisenberger. And you're goddamn right when we say it. Okay? You're goddamn right. Walt's son is the GOAT. Bro, oh man, you know what? Let me get canceled for something else. That show was hella hard for me to watch when he was on the screen, bro. I'm from the 90s, man. And, you know, I've learned... I've learned that it's not okay to make fun of people for their disabilities. But my brain does it anyway. Because, like, sometimes it would... You know what? Should I even talk about this? I tell you what. I'm gonna let you guys fucking decide. Because I don't even know anymore. Should I? Should I? There you go. Poll started. You guys see where this is going? And I want you to really, like, before you vote, I want you to really think, if I was a content creator, would I do this? Would I keep going down this road all the way? Or would I just be like, nah. Because you guys can probably guess where it's going. And I'm not, you know, I'm not going to lie that that's where it's going. But it was let's just, you know, maybe I'll just go there. Do it or no balls. Let them make a 6 subreddit. Bro, unreal. I'm going to say he's handsome and very talented, okay? There, I said it. Fuck. That was stupid. No, he is a good-looking guy, and he is very talented, okay? I'm not trying to take away from him. I'm not trying to yuck your yum or his yum, okay? Xenodroid, you can't. Okay, you can, but I can't. Okay, you can, but I can't. You know what? I bet Amelia will know what to do. I should never have pulled you guys, because I know which way the wind is blowing on that pull. No. It's just, I'm talking about something interesting, and but I don't know if I should keep talking about it. So, in Breaking Bad, and I think we talked about this a couple of times, it was hard for me to watch the scenes with Walt's son. My 90s brain, my mean, jokey 90s brain kicked in, and I could not stop thinking of horrible, but to me, because I'm broken, because I was raised in the 80s and 90s, hilarious jokes. And I really wish that he hadn't been in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, or that they had just... See, I can't even say that. I don't want to go any farther because I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to pump the brakes on this or let people pick my brain on this. What do you think?
I think pumping the brakes, maybe.
I think you might be right. But somebody said earlier, talk about it or no. I'm not going to say the jokes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to make fun of the guy. But I am going to talk about what a struggle it was for me in scenes. Okay. Let's see what the people have said. I mean, obviously they're going to say yes. Yeah, 82% yes. I mean, okay, obviously. But you guys don't give a shit, right? All right, I'm ending the poll. Here's what I'll do. I will say this. Can I even say this? No, I can't. You know what? I'm going to listen to my wife on this one. Her vote counts for 90,000 chat votes. Okay, that's just the way it works. And if there were 90,000 people in her, we'd quadruple that, okay? Her vote always trumps your vote. If she says you guys are leading me down the fucking wrong, dark path through the woods where there's a ambush around the corner, I'm listening to her because she knows.
I do have a funny story. When I went out to go get smokes, I saw the fattest raccoon I've ever seen in my fucking life.
How fat?
Like 3 cats.
I wonder if it was a pregnant girl.
Maybe.
They get huge when they're pregnant.
But yeah, it was like, because I saw it waddling down, and then I saw a street cat right behind it, and it was like 3 of those street cats.
Was the cat trying to kill it?
No, it was just following it at a distance.
Was it hunting it?
No, I don't think the cat was hunting it. It was just going that way. They were probably going for the same thing. Someone had trash out they wanted to eat.
Damn. I love raccoons, but they are scumbags.
Yeah.
If we if we get a piece of property, we're gonna have raccoons.
Yeah.
They're gonna get in our garbage. We're gonna wake up. No matter what we do, they're gonna figure it out a few times before we get it on top. How do we keep them out of that? How do we keep them out of this? Because they are little bastards, and they really are. It's so funny because like they're evocative of a little bandit, and that's how they are. They're clever, likable, charismatic, little like social engineers, and
little big floof balls.
yeah, but they're cute as fuck.
Yeah.
So you don't like instantly want to kill it or shoo it. You're like, aw. And then it like gets you used to seeing it, and then it comes back at night and raids your fucking shit. You know what I mean? They're like cats. They really are very akin to cats, but they're like, I think of a raccoon, I think it's like a cat with hands. That's what I think a raccoon is, really. Because they've got way more like dexterous little front legs.
So they can like open things easier.
It's like if Cricket was a raccoon, the only difference I really think that there would be that he could get that door open any fucking time he wanted.
Yeah.
Probably open the lock too. There are people that have pet raccoons. And I saw a video about a woman that had pet raccoons, and she was like, I gave up on locking my doors a long time ago. She was like, there's no lock. They won't get open.
Yeah.
She's like, I've caught them standing on each other's, because there's 3 or 4 of them that she keeps. And she's like, I let them go out in the yard and stuff, but they always want to be in here. And I used to try and lock up the doors at night. She said, I caught them standing on each other's shoulders, 1, 2, 3, so that one of them could get the lock. And she had a chain lock.
Yeah.
They figured that out. Little fuckers, bro. You can't not love them though, you know? See, but I'm a softie for animals. There are only a few animals that I react with fear to.
You remember those sisters, that documentary? Or no, it was about the woman and her daughter. Didn't she have pet raccoons in the attic that she would like throw cereal?
Yeah.
What was that called again?
That's Grey Gardens.
Yeah.
Yeah. About the Bouviers. Big Edie and Little Edie Beale Bouvier. Cousins of Jacqueline Bouvier Kennedy. Yeah. That's a really interesting documentary if you've never seen it. It was made into a movie. Make sure you don't watch that. It's not horrible, but it's almost like they were just trying to make the movie into the documentary.
Yeah.
Like it was clear that like all of the actors did a character study based on the documentary and really just went with an impersonation.
Yeah.
Drew Barrymore plays Little Edie Beale. But that documentary is just so intimate and interesting. You're talking about like true American weirdos. You're talking about people that are sitting in a house that's probably at that time worth $30 or $40 million, and that was filmed in
the 80s or 90s or something?
70s, I think. Like the late 70s, very early 80s. Maybe even the mid 70s. Yeah, definitely don't.
1975.
Yeah, so I was right, mid 70s. So Yeah, that documentary is irreplaceable. You can't, like, do not get sucked into the movie first because it'll ruin parts of the documentary for you because they just recreate scenes from the fucking documentary in the movie. It's fucking retarded. But the documentary is so slice of life. It is so strange for a family like that. And people that, because, like, here's what you realize watching Grey Gardens. The United States is filled with eccentric, weirdo, rich people that you never know exist because they live in neighborhoods that you're probably not even allowed to drive in.
Or just so out there that you'd never go
Right.
there.
And they are off the radar to you because you're not in the corridors of power. The powerful people know that they're there and know who they are.
Well, the only reason they really came to prominence is because Jackie Kennedy had to, like, loan them some money or something.
Well, here's the thing. They were rich as fuck, but refused to keep up the house, basically. They were so eccentric that they hated having people come into their home because they felt judged, and so they owned that house is in the Hamptons. It's like a block from the Kennedy compound or some shit that's in the Hamptons as well, the Bouvier compound. So it's like, it's right on the beach, in just some of the most prime real estate in the world, right? And it looked like shit. Their garden was overgrown, their house was falling apart from the outside, all this junk on the lawn. And the people around them sued the city. And the city told them, hey, look, we have to settle this lawsuit. So that means you've got 30 days to clean up your property. They weren't going to be able to get it together because they're fucking both not crazy, just they don't care.
Yeah.
They didn't ever have to facilitate shit in that way. And so they didn't prioritize it. Mm-hmm. And so for them, it was like, you're telling us we can't live how we live? Fuck you, we own this house. And so Jackie had to take some Kennedy money and move it over to them to clean up the fucking house.
Probably, like, in a fund to, like, pay contractors. And
oh, yeah, because they didn't get any of it. And then she cut them off. Yeah. So they were left with the Bouvier money. But a lot of that got split between the children. And so at the time of that, they were rich enough to keep that place. But that was it.
Yeah, they got, like, very basic groceries delivered.
They were rich enough to keep that place, keep a gardener so that they didn't get sued again, keep a little handyman that they call the Marble Fawn coming around, and to keep it to where, like, the house wasn't literally going to fall down, but, you know, a wall gets collapsed or you got raccoons in the attic.
That's she was not feeding them. She
yeah.
was, like, throwing
She would buy dog food bags and just empty them in the attic for the raccoons and the cats. It's like, they had like 12 or 13 cats that were semi-feral living on the property, in and out, fleas, shitting, pissing all over everything. They did not prioritize cleanliness. And they did not prioritize, like, if you have a house like that, you're expected to entertain. That's part of what you're supposed to do. If you and I were to get rich and buy a house in the Hamptons and be like, fuck this, we're on 6 acres, I don't ever want to know any of these evil fucks. We'd probably be run out of that neighborhood. The association would find some reason because they don't trust it. You've got to be part of the Stepford Club if you're going to live in the Stepford neighborhood. And the Bouviers just were like, fuck you, go away, you know. But such a slice of life documentary, no narrative to it at all other than the one that it presents. It's just literally them coming back on multiple shooting days and having unprecedented access to film their thoughts, film them in candid environments and moments during meal times, sunning on the deck, laying in bed.
She goes to the beach a couple times.
Goes down to the beach a couple of times, but that's her backyard, so I would too, you know. But that's as far as she ever went from that house. Yeah. Until she died.
Big Edie died in 77.
Which is crazy because she looked like, I mean, she definitely looked unhealthy.
Yeah.
But she seemed like she was so full of piss and vinegar that she seemed like she was an old lady that was going to kick around at least another 10, 15. She only lasted 2.
2002.
Yeah. I bet she was very sad and lonesome
Yeah.
because,
Her whole life was her mother.
well, that's the thing, is like one of the things you get from them is they're at odds with each other, but in such a loving way. It's just like both of them could easily move out of that place if they just sold it. They could have sold that place for $50-60 million in 75 and split that down the middle, and both of them bought whatever kind of apartment they wanted, lived on their own, but they chose to be each other's companions through life. And Edie talks about it. You remember little Edie talks about it, how she feels like her mother doesn't appreciate that she gave up her life.
Yeah.
And her mother kind of responds in a wise way, although it's a little harsh. She says, you had the choice. I didn't keep you here. You wanted to be here. Every time you left, you came back.
It's codependency.
Right. Exactly.
It's a case study in codependency.
But kind of heartwarming. Like, codependency is bad in it, like when you look at it as a single thing, but sometimes it's just the way people operate. There are little old couples that don't go anywhere without each other. They've been married for 80 years and they're codependent as fuck, and you're going to tell me that's wrong? I really don't think it is, and I really don't think they think it is, and it's their life. Like, codependency becomes really bad when it's about, like, what would you say? Like,
well, there's like an imbalance.
yeah. Well, that's part of it. I mean, it's like the reason I'm trying to throw it to you is because I remember learning about codependency, and it was a whole book in one of my psych classes. And I remember it being so complex, but I don't remember exactly every component of it. Like, I remember there is enabling. So codependency is oftentimes directly correlated with alcoholism or some sort of drug abuse.
Or like that 600-pound life is full of codependency.
Food abuse.
Yeah.
So yeah, I remember all of those things, but I didn't want to just throw out the most extreme examples because there's other components of codependency. There's like stagnation, right? Making excuses for never doing anything. Never. It's like not, because it's like a lot of people might look at our lives and say we have that type of codependency because they don't understand what it is we do and how we work, right? We rely on each other to get shit done, and we work on things together. And is that codependent? Yeah. Is it bad? I don't think it is. Do you? So it's like, who's to say that it is then, right? But that level of codependency, literally we kind of like don't like each other much anymore, but we just love each other too much to leave. It's not healthy for either of them.
Well, the biggest problem with that was, with the mother-daughter thing, eventually the mom is going to die, and then what?
Yeah. It was like severe separation anxiety. Yeah. And it's like that sort of thing. It's like, Amelia had to leave for a week a few months ago. Her grandfather passed away, and she wanted to be there for that. And I couldn't go because I just was in the middle of a shooting schedule, and I didn't want to miss 6 shows. And so it just had to happen that way. You know what I mean? And it sucked. Like, it sucked being apart. We talked a lot on the phone. We called back and forth. It actually got to the point where it was hard for me because I just wanted her here. But we weren't like losing our minds with grief over being apart for a fucking week.
No, you had people over, you were working.
I had Zach come over and chill with me one day. I had a lot of work, and I dove face first into that. And I really started doing this during that time, doing these more often in the portrait mode, didn't I?
Maybe not in the portrait mode right away, but I think you were doing. And then you were more in the Discord thing than the.
Oh, you're right. That was like the Salt Rackish.
Yeah, that was Salt Rackus era.
But that was part of me coming back out of my shell a little bit. So that was an important time for me, even if it was kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
Rip Salt Rackus, I know. It really was fun. I think if I had done it a little different, it might have been something, but here's the hurdle that I get up against when I think about Discord. Yeah, I have now touched the stove 3 times with Discord, where it's like I'll trust people from the community to be level-headed enough to not let drama take over the fucking goddamn thing and drag me into it, because I don't want to do that. Touched it once with DP. I really tried to be hands-on, but also empower a team, because I couldn't be there every second of every day, and I failed at that. I was a terrible team leader, really, honestly. Because it was free, you know what I mean? It was like supposed to be fan run and supposed to be this and supposed to be that. I felt put upon every time I had to deal with somebody's interpersonal bullshit. TJ. Dude, I've done that.
Yeah.
That's something that started when I lived with TJ and Dinor. Because you have to get TJ's attention sometimes, and it's the same feeling when he's not listening to me. And I'll just go, TJ.
It's been a while, though.
It has been a while, but it just came tumbling out of me.
I'm gonna get a drink too.
All right, baby. I'm sorry I didn't offer to get you one. I've seen the documentary now episode. I think it's one of 2 episodes of that show that I've seen. I didn't like the show all that much. I do like Fred Armisen a lot, but and I like Bill Hader quite a bit too. But I didn't like the show as much as I thought I would. Are you the dependent type, Paul? Yes, I think so, yeah. It's funny with me because I don't know, man. I don't want to like sit here and pick apart my psyche tonight. But suffice it to say that I'm like everybody else. I'm pretty fucked up, and I can be a little unreasonable at times. I think I'm more reasonable as I've gotten older. I think that like my reasonability has gone up as I've gotten older, but yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm like in the right headspace to talk about my like. It's not even like it would be hard. It's just like I don't know if I would give you guys anything that would be worth. I feel a little bit scatterbrained on myself sometimes. Not to myself, but like in communicating about myself. I become very self-critical when I want to voice things about myself. I have an like a hypervigilance against coming off smug or like braggadocious or boastful, or unless I do it like in service of a bit on the show or something. I'm really not like that. I'm not the type of person that's like putting his fucking, the things he has in your face, or like that thinks he's hot shit or whatever the fuck. And I know that I don't come off that way most of the time, but I do know sometimes I come off that way. And so I'm hyper vigilant against that when I'm talking about myself. And it makes it really hard to talk about things that are about me on a personal level. And you probably have noticed that. Like, it's hard for me to talk to you about shit sometimes when it involves me saying, like, I feel this, or I want that. Have you ever had COVID? I'm pretty sure yes.
This test was negative, but it was one of those free mail tests.
Yeah, it was one of the free home tests that the Biden administration sent out, and from what I understand, like we had them for a few months too, or so like they were cheap shit. They were meant to be used right away. We just wanted to have them on hand in case we got sick, so we could do a quick test. We both got really sick for like 2 weeks, and about like 3 or 4 days into it, we both tested. It popped negative, but I am 100% because it happened right after we traveled. COVID was
real time.
Yeah, the first real time that we like went on a trip that wasn't to move. Like we had locked down pretty fucking hard through the worst of COVID, trying not to get it, and I think we did avoid getting it. until we decided to go visit Amelia's family. Not blaming them, but it was just like, it was time. The lockdowns had ended. We were itching to get out of the fucking state and go travel a little bit. And we went up, drove all the way up through Northern California, all the way through Oregon.
The gas stations we hit on the way.
Every gas station, every fast food place, every hotel, every fucking, interaction with her family. It was just like there were probably tens of thousands of contacts, and one of them had COVID. And it was probably a newer strain of COVID, because I remember COVID was spiking again.
Yeah.
And both of us just got fucking sick, and it was respiratory sick, like coughing, wheezing, feeling out of breath. You know what I mean? And it was just like not bad enough to feel like we needed to go to the hospital, but any worse, and we both would have been going in. And I never really recovered from it. I think that my theory is, and I actually posited this to the doctor, and they said it could be, there's no way to tell without probably doing extensive fucking testing. But after I got sick with that, what I assume was just a strain of COVID, I feel like it damaged my lungs just enough to where my sleep apnea stopped giving me any oxygen almost at all at night. I was just choking. How many apneas was I having? Like 60? 69 apneas in a 5-hour sleep period.
It was the funny number as well. Yeah. 69 apneas.
69.
And now it's down to like 1.
Right, now it's down to less than 1 on average per night.
Yeah.
So it's like crazy improvement. But I think that's what happened, because I was diagnosed with apnea in my late 20s. And I think I had it for fucking 5 or 6 years. My dad had it for his whole life. And my granddad had it. It just runs in my family. And so...
the tongue tie could probably exacerbate it. That might be why.
Who the fuck knows? It would be so weird to get this clipped now.
Yeah, you think you just couldn't talk?
I'd be like, bleh, bleh. I'd have like an extra 3 inches of tongue. Yeah. I worked in a sleep clinic. We had tons of long COVID patients around 2021, 2023. Definitely a thing. Well, that is what I posit. I think that whatever it was damaged my lungs' capacity to process oxygen just enough, or pushed my apnea forward or something. Just enough to where I just got sick and I never got well. The fucking lung infection part went away, but it kept coming back. It's like I'd get coughs, I'd get colds. I just felt like I would wake up, for work, like half an hour before I had to work, and I'd feel like I hadn't slept. And I would do my level-headed best to be good at work, to perform on a show. And then as soon as it went off, I'd go get in bed.
Well, there were days when you weren't working where you just got up to eat, basically.
And shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, no. I don't know, man. Do you feel like an idiot for ignoring your sleep apnea for so long? No. Because
it didn't really become like a prominent thing until you got blood work that one time where they said that you had the polycythemia.
Yep.
The thickening.
Polycythemia vera, honey. That's what he told me. Got the diagnosis. I didn't want to have to tell you guys about this. I thought about not talking about it, but you know what? I'll share everything else with you. I've got the polycythemia vera. It's a rare form of blood cancer, and I will die from it.
In 30 years.
In 30 years from now, I will die from it. No, I have polycythemia, though.
Or you had it.
Had it. Now my blood work looks great. They said my red blood cells were a little elevated, but they said that's probably down to my fucking allergies.
Yeah.
Or I think it was my white cells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, your cholesterol overall is better, but like your good cholesterol isn't high enough or something.
Yeah, they recommended me like doing fish oil or whatever the fuck.
No, that was the eye doctor.
Oh. But that just gave me fucking horrible heartburn.
Yeah.
I'm
We just gotta
burping
eat
up.
more avocados and shit.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure out a way to work in, because like I would like those numbers to stabilize out in a totally positive way. Like all of my bad cholesterols are down in a positive direction or stabilized at the very least.
What happens when you cut out meat is just it all goes down.
Yeah, but your good cholesterol goes down too.
Yeah.
So like ideally I would be eating a very small portion of lean meat with at least one meal a day. And that would probably bring that number up. But I just don't want to eat meat.
No, I think they're thinking more like nuts and avocados and fish.
Yeah.
Because like you make an allowance for fish, but you don't eat it a whole lot because you don't like many fishes. Like if you like salmon, didn't hate salmon, that'd be a great source of the good cholesterol.
I don't know what it is about fish. I'm trying to, because like with a lot of things with meat, I can connect it to some memory.
Yeah.
Or I can remember how I felt about it when I was a kid. There was a point when I was a kid where I would like literally, my mom will tell you, I wanted fish sticks every day. And it was those cheap ass fucking put them in the oven, they're crispy, dip them in tartar sauce, fish sticks. That's all I wanted to eat. And I loved them. And those are made with pretty low quality, like white fish, you know. And so pretty fishy tasting usually because it's frozen and it's processed and it's like, you know what I mean when I say fishy, right? Like, I don't know what they call that. There's probably a name for it, like in the flavor profile, but I just say fishy. And that flavor just puts me off. I don't know what it is now, and I don't know when it happened. It's almost like it went opposite with most things.
Yeah.
I hated like hot peppers when I was little, and now I love them. I hated mushrooms when I was young, and now I love them. Can't get enough of them. Hated Brussels sprouts, now I love them. Hated salad pretty much, now I love it. So it's like most of those like kid things that kids get picky about. I don't like veggies, now I love them.
But canned tuna, you're still super. Or
Only in a tuna sandwich, only if you're mixing in a bunch of mayo.
Yeah.
You know, which is like
or
for me.
Or casserole where it's just like a little bit of tuna and a whole bunch of pasta.
Right. Like to me that doesn't take, because like especially in a tuna casserole, the fishiness is so overpowered by like the cheesiness and the crunchiness of the topping and the noodles and the sauce and the peas. It's just like so buried in there. It's like that's why I liked your stepdad's stew.
Yeah, because it had a fuck ton of cream is what it had.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's the thing is like that plus like I ate every bit of that.
Yeah. And
there was big chunks of fish that he'd cut up in there, deboned and everything, and no skin. I don't think I would have eaten it if there were just skin and bones floating in it, but he chopped it up really nice. Had shrimp, he had mussels or like scallops, I think, and then like chunks of white fish, and then just like a really like you said, deep, fatty broth, super seasoned, showing off those Puerto Rican roots super hard, and it was delicious, and I ate every bit of it. So I think it's just like finding several things like that we can cook reliably every once in a while. And I don't know if shrimp count. Probably not. Huh?
Not the good cholesterol.
Yeah, so it's got to be like
a fatty fish.
Yeah. A fatty fish. I subbed. Make some ceviche. I do like ceviche. Because you know why? If you do ceviche the way my mom does it, I don't know how she does it, but she used to make ceviche quite a bit. It kills the fishiness of the fish with the acid from the lemon and the lime juice or whatever you're using.
I know we talked about it. I just hadn't found a recipe that
we just need to pick her brain about it because I guarantee you she's got a ceviche recipe.
I mean, I found a shrimp ceviche recipe that I can just try.
We can try it. But I'm just saying, like, I would probably eat fish in a ceviche.
I see.
There's certain kinds of like flaky white fish that if you do it in a ceviche, it cooks it all the way through, and it's almost like the acid leaches out the whatever it is that makes it fishy tasting, or buries it so deep under those like super like bright citrusy notes and then spice, because it's like hot notes and then citrus with a meaty fish and shrimp, you know what I mean, all peeled and just done. And it's really good. It's really fucking good, bro. Ceviche is super good. Have you ever written a strongly worded letter with a quill? No. I want to, though.
We have a quill.
We do have a quill, that is true.
We were looking around to see what junk we could put
Your
out.
mom got you a calligraphy set. You just never used it. Yeah. We didn't throw it away because I thought, you know, if nothing else, we can give it to my little niece. Well, not so little niece. Well, I don't know. Maybe one of the younger nieces, it would be better for them. Maybe one of them would
The only
appreciate
thing
it
is,
more.
it's like you gotta have fire because it's got the wax for the stamps.
That's why I'm saying like one of the elders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I've seen them. Like one of them was manhandling the lighter.
Yeah.
And lighting candles with it. So if they're letting her do that, they'd probably let her mess around with the like wax to get the.
Yeah.
Paul isn't beating Hagrid allegations now. I don't want to beat them. Dude, Hagrid, can I be real with you guys? Hagrid had the biggest heart, and not just because he was the biggest guy. He had the most heart in that movie, and every last one of those main characters would be stone fucking dead at least 2 or 3 times over had Hagrid not been there. And you can't say that about any of the other teachers. Even Dumbledore fell down and didn't show up more than fucking Hagrid didn't show up. When Hagrid was needed, when there was something that only he could solve, he found a way to get it done.
And he couldn't lie hardly ever.
That's the thing, because he had a big old heart and a giant conscience, and he felt so bad about what he had done to get kicked out. And so bad about that he never used his magical powers until it was time. And then he jumped on the fucking motorcycle and got his wand out. But he didn't flaunt magic the way that the other wizards did. Even the good wizards used it all the time, and he wasn't allowed, you know? So he had a big heart. And so getting compared to Hagrid is like, oh, the nicest dude in the movie is you. It's
that
like,
can't lie.
yeah, the one that can never lie, the one that could never fucking switch up on a friend. Yeah, you're that guy. It's like, I get what they're saying. Like, yeah, you're big, fat, hairy. I get that too, but it's like he's a pretty cool character in that series, so I don't mind being compared to Hagrid.
Did you ever read all of the books, or no?
Yeah, I read them all.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a long time, but yeah, no, it took me a while to read, because like I took a break between whatever it was and Half-Blood Prince.
Oh, the Order of the Phoenix.
Yeah.
Order of Phoenix is a fatty book.
Yeah, and then I went back, read all of them up through that again, and bought all of the new ones, which the whole series was out. And I think it was in like 2007 or 8 or 9? Somewhere around there is when I just went and got them all. All the 3 ones or whatever I'd missed. And yeah, I liked them. Yeah, I don't know, I liked them a lot. You know, I'm not going to be super overly critical of the books. I think they're a lot of fun. I think they're really well written, obviously, because like I was an adult when I started reading Harry Potter. When it came out, I was already well in my 20s. I remember when it came out, people were freaking about it. Well, no, maybe not when it came out, but I remember when it smashed out.
Yeah, like after the movie was made and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. That first movie just like blew it up. It was already huge. That's why the movie was huge. But like so many people were not into it or hadn't allowed their kids to do it. But now the movie was out. It's a different thing. It was a big cultural touchstone too. I remember that. You ever seen that documentary, Jesus Camp? Mm-hmm. Remember that woman? She goes on that whole screed about warlocks are enemies of God.
Yeah. When I was in Sunday school, they went on a whole rant about Harry Potter.
I love that, you know, they did those little candid like shots of the kids talking around the table, and there's one little kid, I was like, dude, that's me. He was like, because one of the kids they were following was really pious, and he was like, "Yeah, my mom doesn't allow us to see Harry Potter," and one of the little kid goes like, "Yeah, my mom doesn't let me watch it either, but I stay at my dad's house two weeks out of the month, and he doesn't care." So, and all the kids look at him like, and he's just like, "What?" Like, I like him. I was like, "That's me." I never got sent to Jesus camp, but if I had, that would have been me. I'd have been like, "You guys are fucking losers, bro. You never seen Harry Potter? What kind of place is this?"
Is there any like kids books out now that are like the new Christian Panic? Or are they still talking about Harry Potter?
It is
years
the
later?
very few but growing number of kids books that are meant to introduce LGBTQ identities.
That's the new boogeyman.
Yep, that's the new boogeyman. Yeah, it's like, mom and mom, or the princess and the princess, and those sorts of things. Just set them off entirely because they don't show basically the white ideal of a white man and a white woman making love after getting married.
Yeah.
And, that's the only thing they ever want people to talk about with kids, and that's just...
The only other like magical like kids series after Harry Potter that I think got super big was the Percy Jackson books.
See, I know literally nothing.
It's like
it's like great. Yeah, he's like the son of
He's a
Zeus.
demigod.
That's all I know, though, right? That's all I know. And it's like it was definitely, you know what it reminded me of? Spy Kids.
Yeah.
Or like there was a show. Oh my god, it was a cartoon, but like that Percy Jackson shit just reminded me of it when I saw clips and stuff from it, and memes and whatever. Fuck. It's like a girl that was a superhero, Kim Possible.
Oh yeah.
It's like that kind of like millennial kid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like millennial or early Zoomer, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, I watched Kim Possible.
Oh, you were all... So, like, what... I've picked your mind about this, but I cannot remember, so let me do it again. What was your favoritist cartoon?
I would say Kim Possible. I had a little TV in my room, and I would stay up until
Kim
11
Possible.
to watch Kim Possible.
Who's your favorite character in Kim Possible? Kim. But there were some other cool things in Kim Possible,
Yeah.
right?
Shigo was pretty hot.
Yeah. She was the evil one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember watching Kim Possible with my eldest niece.
Yeah.
So I watched a few episodes of it, so I remember a little bit about it. It wasn't unwatchable or anything as far as kids shows go. I was so happy at that point to watch anything that wasn't Wreck-It Ralph that I wanted to just fucking sit and watch Kim Possible all the way through. Like, I'll sit here with you all day and we'll marathon this shit. Because at that point I was being literally tortured half to death every day by a little kid who I have bad feelings for and never did anything to earn it. That's the saddest thing about that to me, is like, I think I could have been a really good uncle to that little kid, but not under the auspices of his father living with me and taking advantage of that hospitality and shit. All of the enmity that I built up for him transferred onto his kid. His kid became like just a nuisance, and he was. Kids, like, he literally, like, and this is so fucked up to even think about. The fact that we allowed this is so weird. I'm just having a moment, because it's just like one of those things that would just never happen to me now, and I've grown to a point in my life where, like, literally the doormat days are over, to the point where I'm like almost not a guy to ask for favors. But on the flip, I literally cannot believe I allowed that to go on for so long. That when I say we, my ex-wife and I allowed that to happen. It was so flagrant and disrespectful. But yeah, I mean, he was like committed to trying to be a dad and everything. And so that meant that he wanted custody starting when the kid was like, as soon as it was like off the teat and on a bottle, he started bringing this kid over in a crib. And like, he's having to go through the first time young dad thing where he's waking up every night, but guess who else is? Everybody else that lives in the fucking house. And it was just like, in my mind, I feel like I always felt like he's gonna come to me in like a month or two and be like, all right guys, like, look, I've been saving up a little bit here and there, I'm gonna move out here at the end of the month, thank you so much. And I'm gonna be like, great, man, good luck. And it just never happened. He just stayed and stayed and stayed, and that kid went from squealing baby to a little toddler, and they had like speech, like slowness, not slowness,
Like just delayed development.
delayed speech development. Because, and I don't mean to judge, his dad sat him in front of the fucking TV and gave him a tablet all day. And so he was not talked to by many people. And he would literally just like go, he would make like just a normal thing and point at what he wanted. And you had to tell him all the way up until he was like 5 or 6 or 4 or 5, like, you use your words. Eventually, like, as far as I understand, he got out of it, but like, I had to be there. Like, I co-parented that unwillingly.
Yeah, which means that you were a great co-parent because...
Right, because my heart wasn't in it. Because a lot of the anger that I felt about his father taking advantage of me transferred onto him because he was annoying. 2-year-olds are annoying. All they want to do is what they want to do. And it's that age where you have to lay down ground rules and force them to engage in different things.
You're not his dad, so
but I'm not his dad, and his dad didn't know any of that because his dad didn't have a dad. And I refused to step into another man's fucking life and tell him how to raise his boy. But by the same token, I had no choice but to just be there through it. Well, no, that's not true. That's the fucked up thing. I eventually exercised my choice. But that you saw what it meant. Because I went, now I don't want to get too deep into it, but I went to my wife several times, like, we need to fucking set a date, and he gone. Just never happened. Just never wanted to do it. Yeah, fucked, man. I'm so far from that type of person now that I gotta be honest with you. If you don't know me, and I mean like, really know me. Like, if you're not my mother, my father, my sister, one of my nieces or nephews, I mean, if you're not close to me, a couple of my cousins and uncles and aunts, right? Couple of fucking friends in the world, you better not call me for jack shit. That well ran dry. And it's a sad story. Because I didn't used to be this way. But now I'm this way forever. Because I was a guy, I'm what's called a people pleaser by nature. And that can be a very beautiful thing. People pleasers tend to flourish in certain types of environments and jobs and stuff. But what I ended up being was a doormat. I was there when somebody needed me. But when I needed, nobody was there. And as long as I was okay with that arrangement, everybody loved me.
Well, that's the codependency we were talking about earlier.
Yeah. As long as I was okay with, if my friends were moving, I used to be the first guy to show up, last guy to leave, and sometimes the only guy to show up. But I was always there if they needed me and asked me. To me needing to move and nobody shows up. Nobody could get a day off work. Nobody could take time after work. Oh, I had a plan. Oh, I did this. Nobody could show. And it's like, well, you know what I mean? And then, like, it took me losing my marriage and thinking, like, man, this is fucking crazy, but at least I got my bros. And I didn't have a single bro no more. Because all of them were pissed at me for leaving my wife. And I was like, what? Whose bro are you now? But it was just like, I went to them in a time of need and they couldn't give it to me. And that was like, I woke up and I was like, fuck, I haven't had a friend, maybe one friend in my whole life. And a bunch of little fucking remoras sucking out my energy and never giving nothing back. So I pulled every last one of them little sucker fish off of my ass. And now I don't have one. Praise Allah. Beefy queef. A dude named Beefy Queef said, "That's fucked up, man." I'm having an existential crisis about Beefy Queef right now. I don't even know what to say. I want to mod you, but I also want to ban you.
Why would you want to ban? The comment itself is fine.
But the name is so offensively disgusting. Not disgusting, but just like
Distracting?
descriptive.
Yeah.
It's evocative. No, it's okay, bud. It's not your fault, man. Because you didn't say nothing. Mod him, then ban him. Maybe. Beefy Queef, man. You fucking shocked my system, bro. Thanks for that. Don't knock it till you try it. Yeah. Alright, buddy. Well, let's just, ooh, man, the struggle goes on, I guess. I'll decide what to do with you later. Until now, Beefy Queef is not to be touched. Okay. He's a friend of ours. Or no, sorry. How's it work in the mob? A friend of mine means you're an unconnected guy that wants to be connected. And a friend of ours means you're a connected guy that wants an introduction. From my experience, everyone views things as transactional. To a certain extent, maybe. I mean, like, you can really drill down to the absurd level when you're talking about human behavior and impulse and where that comes from and what drives it. And the idea that, like, the human imperative, if there is one, is survive and pass along genes, right? In that order. And, we've stacked a whole lot of portent on top of that. But, if you really drill down into sociology, drill down especially into psychology. Like, I've drilled into psychology way more than sociology, but they're subjects that touch very intimately, and they have sex. They're friends with benefits. Let's put it that way. And when you drill down into human psyche and shit, you find that a lot of desire is primal, and a lot of what we've layered on top of it is window dressing. Necessary window dressing, because if we all went primal, we would be eating each other's children and shit. It'd be fucking crazy. Be Mad Max overnight, you know what I mean? So it's like, I tend to like Jung, and all of the little, history of psychology, like the fathers of modern psychology study that I did in college and just on my own. Jung is the one that spoke to me the most. I felt the most seen reading Jung. Because I've always thought, and I'm like, I've talked to you about this, and I think I've talked here about it. Like, I had anxiety issues starting around puberty and shit. And one of the ways it manifested was intrusive thoughts. Sometimes those thoughts were just of somebody I loved getting hurt or hurting themselves deliberately or accidentally. But sometimes those thoughts were of me hurting people. There was no impulse for me to, I wasn't like, must kill, but I would have these horrible pictures. And it was just like my anxiety trying to find a way to express itself in a very young body that had no concept of feeling wrong yet. And so I always felt at that time like there was just these desires in me that weren't supposed to be there, right? And a lot of those were homosexual desires as well. I wasn't supposed to be attracted to men the way that I was. I was supposed to only be attracted to women the way that I was. And so I felt like there was this shadow person, this other me, that I was really working to not be the me that was out in the world. And it turns out that, you know, obviously my mental illness notwithstanding, if you read Jung, in a very simplified way, that is true. You know, the Jungian shadow represents, you know, deep brain impulse, instinct, desires that are contrary to societal living, to cooperative living, which is essential even in a, you know, fuck you, got mine society like ours. We have to live cheek by jowl. We have to get along. And, you know, there's a lot of really like pessimistic thought about that veneer, but I think Jung explains it pretty well. It's been a long time since I read about Jung, but I've always taken comfort in that idea that my darker impulses don't necessarily define who I am. They're just a part of me, like they're a part of everybody. I'm also very lucky because I think on the other end of the spectrum, I have kind of like an 800-pound gorilla of a conscience and not a whole lot of dark impulse. I mean, a lot of my darker impulses have to do with like ultimately self-harm, either deliberate or, you know, not deliberate, like roundabout. Eat too much, drink too much, go get some fucking pills and take those fucking pills, and, you know, those types of things. We're primates with hyper pattern seeking brains, and it's gotten out of hand. It's been out of hand, but it's just like, it's gonna have to be. I do think that there's reason in the madness somewhere. I do think that we are capable of grand cooperation. It's just like we have to be convinced. And unfortunately, as a, you know, not a professional, but just as a amateur student of history, I feel like we learn the hardest way. We learn from collapse, from utter failure and ruin, and then things get better for a time, but only at the expense of a long period of desolation. So it's like, yeah.
Well, like the last time the world really came together super hard was like the ozone thing.
Yeah. I mean, like coming together and like banning these aerosol CFCs and shit. Like that was huge, decisive action on a global scale. So you're right. But I mean, like before that, examples of that are fucking slim to none. And I mean, there are some, right? They're like, you know, like you could really divide the world up pretty cleanly during the World War II kind of era. You know, and if you did that, and you go by the, you know, to the victor goes the spoils and the best man wins and all of that, then the good guys won, right? In that conflict. And most people were right. They had enough people, they had enough power. So might made right in that instance. And, but I think I'm pretty stoned.
Well, how many tabs did you have?
3.
3. So 150.
That's a pretty light dose for me. But I think I've gotten stoned. I don't even remember what we're talking about, man. Jung, the shadow. Yeah. Jung would talk about having to know your shadow, right? and to not fear your shadow. Like that's why I liked Young, is because it contextualized something I'd always felt in a way that wasn't scary to me anymore. It's like, oh, everybody has dark impulses. Everybody has dark thoughts. Everybody, you know, questions their reality and shit like that. Yep, you're stoned, you think? I think it might be. The jazz cabbage, man. Jazz cabbage jumped right in, but maybe it was time to switch the subject anyway. It was starting to go fucking nowhere. It's one of the things that I feel like I wish my intellect had a broader capacity for rote information gathering and retention. My brain has always been very selective about what it commits to memory. Like, you know, I did like a year and change in college, especially like most of that time taking psychology courses for a psychology major. And I literally, like, I feel like a retard when I try and think about quotes or even like bullet pointed lists from all of that. And it was like 10 years ago, 15 years ago. But I can sing every fucking word to I Want Your Sex by George Michael.
You know the entire script of Forrest Gump?
Yep, I can literally, and this is, somebody's gonna call me on this one day. And I don't know that I can do it anymore. I'd have to watch Forrest Gump a couple more times to refresh. But I tell you what, dude, if you let me get back on book, I could do the entirety of Forrest Gump. Every line, every scene, start to finish. That's how I survived my first job. I had the world's most mind-numbing fucking job. Under the table, working at a fucking recycling plant, standing in a pile of cullet, which is crushed up glass, picking out metal and ceramic. And so I would literally watch the movie, because I've always had a very visual imagination, sometimes to the point of my detriment. Like sometimes imagery will hit me in my mind so hard, something that I think about, the imagery of it will be so clear in my mind that it'll startle me, shock me. But it's also the facility from which I draw all the like improvisational stuff that you guys like when I do, making up little characters, doing little voices, coming up with little bits on the fly, doing a performative thing like I did at the end of the fucking first hour of the Vauntlet. You know, that sort of thing is that comes from that chaotic kind of like easily accessible, super expressive memory. Like when I'm just going off the dome about a movie idea where I'm like, they should make a movie about this, and me and TJ are just feeding into it, we both have access to that facility. That's why TJ and I are really good talking movies together usually.
All the streaming services we have, Forrest Gump ain't on none of them.
Oh, that's okay. I can find Forrest Gump, baby. I know how to sail the seas.
But it's just like ridiculous. Like we have 3 separate things now. It's the most we've had in a long time. It's not on anything.
It's so stupid. But whatever. I gotta be honest with you, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
I stopped caring about that fucking movie probably like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I just, and it's, look, dude, I understand it's a fucking fantastic movie. But I must have watched it 100 times.
Well, I told you I was sick of it because I had to watch it in school.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
It was that and The Lion King. Those are both movies that I think like, damn, those are masterpieces. I will never fucking ever watch them again. So there's like a part of me that I just don't even want to watch Forrest Gump. I like joking about it. Like one of the funniest bits for me that I've done in the last couple of years was that whole like, I can't even remember what it was, but we were riffing on Forrest Gump being like, I can't even remember. Can anybody help me with this? We were doing something about Forrest Gump. was he doing? He was like I can't remember. It was something horrible. So I remember
Retarded something or other.
Probably. Forest Hump. I can't remember what it was, bro. Pump and go. Oh my god. Oh my god. What are your thoughts on apple butter? Who the fuck are you, man? Dude, I pick one fucking thing to read and it's that guy's fucking thing.
You want your giggles to ascend to new heights.
Oh my god.
This is a bad Facebook meme, but I think you will love it.
Okay. Yeah, because ladies do be fucking like holding in their farts, but every once in a while they like you, because like yeah, you guys be fucking clenched all day until you think we're not listening, and then you let it fly. The Korean back cruncher. What? There's all kinds of ways to pump and gum. Missionary, doggy, groggy, froggy. I don't want it anymore, man. I wish I could unsee Forrest Gump. But that's the only way I can enjoy Forrest Gump now, is if I'm making up like a fake Forrest Gump porn ripoff, or like writing a disgusting Forrest Gump. Like, there's a joke that I used to fucking tell my friends, because we, like, this thing that I do with TJ and Scotty, where we, like, riff on movie ideas or how we would change movies and just have this funny conversation about crazy shit. I've done that a long time. And there's a joke I came up with about fucking Forrest Gump. I swear to God, it's so funny. Like, it's so funny, but it's so racist, and I just can't, you know what I mean? It's so bad, but it's hilarious. Like, I think people would get it, but I'm not risking it. Not in this day and age, bro. Hell fucking no, bro. Nope. Dude, I said that Anne Frank might not have been the one that wrote her diary, and there's fucking 90 million people calling me a Nazi over that, bro. You think I'm gonna tell my racist pump and gump joke? Dude, it was a howler, bro. It brought the house down when I fucking riffed on it with my friends. But that was the fucking 90s, bro. No. I hate to do it to you, but I just wanted you guys to know the cost of, like, and look, dude, I'm willing to pay the cost. I'm not bitching about it. I'm not trying to be like, oh, woke stuff. Listen, people shouldn't be flagrantly throwing around the N-word and shit like they used to. I get it. People should be conscious of, like, racial injustice when they're making fucking jokes. I get it. I get it. I have no choice but to be a citizen of Athens. I'm not willing to pay the cost. The world has gone crazy. Well, that's for you to decide, man, but you're going to pay the cost anyway. You want to be like a fucking triumphant inward warrior or whatever the fuck, just going out there screaming it? Yeah, you might get a couple people on the right liking you, but the rest of the world is never going to want to touch you with a 10-foot fucking pole, even if you're trying to be funny. That word just isn't funny coming out of white people anymore. And, you know, it's not something that I argue with. Maybe it never was. I need help with a gambling addiction. This is a Wendy's, sir. What can I get for you? I lost $80K on Baccarat, and now my daughter can't go to college. Bro, don't fucking trauma dump up in here. That's retarded if true. Dude, if you lost $80,000 on Baccarat, you're a fucking retarded person, bro. You should go to your daughter right now and beg her humble forgiveness. Go to your wife and beg her humble fucking forgiveness. Okay? How about that? Go wake them up right now and tell them what the fuck you've done. And fucking throw yourself at the mercy of the court, Ewok genocide. I'm not laughing at your expense. I'm telling you what you wanted. You said you're here for advice. That's the advice. Get on the phone. Right now. Call your fucking wife. If you're not there, or go wake them up if they're there, and tell them what the fuck you've done. That's it. My daughter won't return my calls. Well, no shit. So you need to make it right. And that, you know what that, yeah, you did mess up bad, but you know what you can do? Look me in the eyes, Ewok genocide. Okay, hold on, let me help you out. You can get off of your fat duff and be a fucking man and make that money back for your daughter and put her through fucking college. You may not get her respect back, but you'll get your respect for yourself back as a man. Don't fucking whine about it on the internet. Come in here crying like a little bitch. You weren't a little bitch when you laid your daughter's future on the Baccarat table, were you? No. You knew what you were doing then. You were aware of what you were doing then. But today you want to come here for comfort. I tell you, if you had half the heart in you that you did desire for comfort, that $80K would already be back in your daughter's fucking bank account. Go be a man. Suck it up. Don't be a little pussy about it, man. Now ban him. Get his degenerate gambling Baccarat ass the fuck up out of my face. No losers allowed. Get him out. When you redeem yourself, you can make another account and come back. Till then, you're permit, bitch. I want your sniveling, whining, cracker ass in here. $80K on Baccarat. Gambled your fucking daughter's future away. Degenerate piece of fucking shit. If I give you the money, are you gonna put the fucking lights on? Let me find out you gambled it. I'll fucking leave you where I find you. What an embarrassment. snowflakes zone. He really gambled on that comment. Don't make a fuck out of me. It's like Peter Griffin when he bought the horse instead of groceries. Oh man, I miss when that show was funny. Do you guys remember when that show was hella funny? Because it used to be hella funny, but dude, I'll reveal my age right now. I remember when The Simpsons used to be hella funny. Like the shit that was coming out every week was funny. I remember them days. I remember when The Simpsons was must-see TV. Nuggy, you my sister. On the real, you my sister. I just want to tell you that, Nuggy, you my sister. Because you know what the fuck time it is. You my sister from another mister. Oh my god, dude, that fucking gum joke though, bro. That gum joke is crazy, bro. It's long too, and most of it's not racist at all. It's just that the payoff is hella racist. Dude, I can't. Even if I like censor it, people are gonna be like, "Yeah, dude, that's not funny. Paul's actually a racist." Blah blah. Dude, I just don't want to kick the hive again right now, bro. Okay, I'll blank out the racist part, but you guys are gonna, if you really, okay, you know what? I'll do it, because it's one fucking racist part. Right? Are you a vet? I'm a ghetto vet. There's a lot in my life I regret becoming a ghetto vet. I'm a vet of what I used to call them streets. Okay? I've got ghetto wisdom from on high. But that's it though. I'm real world stupid. But I'm hella ghetto smart. And that's cool. Alright, I'm going to give you guys the truncated version because I don't even feel like drawing it out because I'm not even going to try and present it as funny. But what I would do is I would walk them through the whole Vietnam thing. Right? And they would get annoyed with me because I'm basically just describing the movie. So you guys remember when him and Bubba get to Vietnam, they meet Lieutenant Dan. He takes them over to the fucking tent and gives them the socks and like tells them how to do it. And he's like, "Oh, you twins?" You know, and they're like, "No, we are not relations, sir." And he realizes that he's dealing with a couple of retarded guys, right? Anyway, we walk through that whole scene where it's like him and Bubba watching each other's backs, talking on the fucking trail, crawling through the rice paddies, right? And they're getting annoyed because they're like, "Dude, we're supposed to be changing the story." And I'm like, "Shut up." Then they hit that clearing and all of a sudden shots ring out, the whole battle happens, it's chaos, you know, Lieutenant Dan gets hit, fucking Bubba's nowhere to be found, fucking Forrest is running, finds himself all by himself, and that's a bad thing. So he went back in to look for Lieutenant Dan, right? And he finds Lieutenant Dan, and Lieutenant Dan's like, "You stupid son of a bitch, leave me here. Leave me here, you goddamn cocksucking son of a bitch. No, I'm supposed to die here," blah, blah, right? You guys remember the fucking scene, right? And he drags him out, right? And then he's like, and then I went back in because Lieutenant Dan, like told me go back and get more men. So I went back in. I kept finding other men that he said, help me, Forrest, help me. And so I dragged them out of there. And then the time came for the helicopter to be loaded up, and it was 2 or 3 minutes before the napalm came. Lieutenant Dan said, aren't you going to go back in there and get your friend Bubba? And I said, what? That stupid, retarded N-word? You know, man, it hit pretty hard in the 90s. That's all. Fuck him. I'm not risking my neck. If you want to crawl your crippled ass back in there. It's funny because he's suddenly racist. I know. Okay, there you go. You got it out of me. I'm fucking canceled. I hope it was worth it. I've been Paul Zico. If you want to find me, I'll be over on Kick with the rest of the Nazis. Oh shit, bro. Fuck me, bro. You can crawl your crippled ass back in there if you want to. You want to risk your ass for a worthless N-word. But I ain't going back in there. Fuck him. He won't shut up about fucking shrimp. Oh, fuck me, bro. I'm just glad he sponged a bullet that was meant for me. As far as I'm concerned, he did his job here in Vietnam. Stand in front of a bullet. It could have hit a white man. And then the movie just goes on. That's the only incidence of racism in the movie. You know what I mean? Like the movie goes on, he decides to like steal Bubba's fucking idea, goes and pretends to care about his family so he can scam them out of their fishing boat or whatever the fuck. Oh shit. And when the time came, I even gave Bubba's mama Bubba's share. Hey, you stupid N-word, here's the nickel. Here's a nickel. Go buy some bubble gum. Thanks for the fucking shrimp boat. You know what I mean? He's just like inexplicably racist, but otherwise like super likable. Welcome to IP2. I know, dude. I better get to know fucking Ice Poseidon. I better cozy up to fucking Baked Alaska or something, because that's the only place that'll have me now. Time period appropriate? I mean, yeah, sure. No, my mom would be that's the sad thing, is my mom would be laughing if I said that. If I told my mom that, she would laugh her fucking ass off at it. Everybody that I tell it does. Like, I've told that a few times in my personal life, and not one time has somebody been like, you're a racist? You know what I mean? This stream will need to be deleted. It's too late for all of that, dude. It's been clipped and shipped, bro. It's over. It's Jover. Nick Fuentes, yeah, dude. I need to become a groiper. Those are the only people that'll have me now. I need to go suck up to Andy Worski. Beg him. Beg him to let me be like the soundboard guy on his show or something. Of course it's satire. I'm just making fun. The joke is he's a hideous racist. It's like a horrible, irredeemable white supremacist. That's the whole point. And you have to start early at the beginning of Vietnam to draw people into it so they know that you're still in the universe of Forrest Gump to make it work. Hence funny, right? Yeah. Looks like that Thomas Crooks guy was possibly a groyper. The guy that popped a shot at Trump? Really? That's kind of crazy. Weird if true, because isn't like Nick Fuentes anti-Trump now? In a strange twist of fate? Hasn't he like denounced Trump, or has he walked that back now? His daddy was named after the KKK leader. Yeah. They used to dress up in their robes and bed sheets and ride around and scare people like a bunch of ghosts, spooks, or something. Start a pod with Milo, yeah. Call it like the fat trailer trash and the chiclet toothed ex-gay grifter. It's a little long, but I think it's got flair, you know. Or we could just shorten it, like Trailer Park and Chiclet Tooth. Paul's Eagle Cacao. I think he's anti-Israel, which is surprising. I don't fucking know, man. I don't keep up to date on the whole Groyper situation. Paul destroyed his career, now he's here to save it. The CEO of BlackRock was taking him to the range. Dude, no. This is starting to get crazy, dude. Every time something like this happens, kind of reminds me of some dude I used to speak to. He was like, I love everybody except the Chinese. So randomly racist. I know. It's always such an unpleasant surprise when you find out that somebody you thought was cool is a racist. That's happened to me like a bunch of times in my life. It kind of happened a little bit today. No, not today. He wasn't racist at all. He was just more conservative than I thought he was. Our handyman. Our handyman came to fix the door, which wouldn't open and now it won't close, so I have to call him again tomorrow. But, oh, shit. Yeah, he started, like, because I told him I was a podcaster, and so he struck up a conversation. So he's like, what do you think about all this Kamala stuff? And I was like, yeah, I don't like her very much, man. I don't like cops, though. He's like, me neither. And I was like, all right. Good. And I was like, well, what do you think then? He's like, I'm a Trump supporter, you know. I'm a conservative. And I just don't know, you know, like, and I was like, well, I said, man, I don't know either, bro. I was like, I don't feel like either one of them is fit for the fucking job. I don't think either one of them is going to change the things that needs changing. I think they're still going to be taxing me and you out the ass. I think they're still going to be getting rich off their fucking jobs that are not supposed to pay that well, and I think the rest of us are going to suffer for it. And he was like, yeah, I think you're probably right about that. And I was like, fuck, I'm right. I was like, the middle ground is economics. It always is. That's the fucking bridge. We have to build it. We have to start a sense of blue-collar solidarity amongst the fucking conservatives again, because they've been cucked out of it by their politicians for long enough, and now that they hate them again. Now's the time, but it's just like nobody's out there making that. Well, that's not true. The UAW is out there, the fucking Teamsters are out there, and they're trying to organize a fucking nationwide walkout. That's going to include talking to, so there's a lot of work being done on that front. I'm glad. Because, man, dude, if you reduce leftism to the type of chit chat bullshit you read on Twitter, Reddit, like YouTube, fucking talking head shit, bro, shit is dismal. But there's a lot of organizations that you can support. You know what I mean? I've decided to start supporting union causes here locally. You know, unfortunately, like every time there's a strike in California, it's somewhere that's not within striking distance of me. But as soon as there's a picket that I hear about locally, I'm going to do a little fucking supply run and give them some waters. And do some material support on the strike line and stuff when I can. It's a good chance of me being able to support some strikes. But I'm definitely a proponent of this General Strike 2028 shit. It's going to take time to build a coalition, and hopefully the UAW can do that. I'm in full support of that, 100%. I remembered a union phrase today, and it fucking blew my mind. Record profits are stolen wages. I heard that in the union hall back when I was a kid. Record profits are stolen wages. That's an old saying, and a true saying. You didn't block Luke for confirming the BlackRock comment. What? What happened, dude? What are you fucking bitching about? You trying to tell me who I'm supposed to be blocking and shit, or what? Because I'll tell you who's about to get blocked, bitch. I don't care about that union, or I don't know about that. Unions are giving people the dignity they deserve. Huh? Who are you arguing with? I'm a unionist. I'm an organizer. And in other news, streamers are simps for the biggest corporations, Google and Amazon. Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. They have very little choice. But yeah, in order to work at this job, you've kind of got to fucking snuggle up to a pretty evil corporation or two. How lonely do you have to be to get that friend AI necklace? I have no idea what that even is. Love that union quote, so true, yeah. Me too. Anyway, I think I'm done for the night, man. I'm feeling pretty pleasingly stoned. I think I'm gonna go play some fucking Dynasty Warriors 4. I feel like just button mashing, man. I feel like just mashing my way through big hordes of enemies. You guys like Musou games? Musou games? At all? I've been a fan for a long time. And they did a Dynasty Warriors 4 remaster or something. I picked it up, and I'm loving it, bro. I'm not streaming it. Fuck you. I'm just gonna be baked. I'm gonna put my feet up. I'm gonna put on a movie so I can soak in my fucking media, and I can just Hyrule Warriors. Yeah, that would be fun. Maybe I'll get that for my Switch. I never play my Switch, but that's one reason for me to do it. Anyway, I gotta go. Bye. Please no cancel.